All right, good afternoon. I'm Tim Gordon, and welcome to Critics Corner. Of course, we're here at day 3 of the Middleburg Film Fest, and I got with me a couple of good colleagues and friends. At the far end is Kevin Sampson of Picture Lock magazine, Picture Lock's PR site.
There's every Picture Lock PR, DCBFF. There's a lot of hats that's weird.
It's whatever. It's whatever.
And immediately to my left,
sell it, man.
immediately to my left is if you watch us on WETA, if you see us still around town, if you see us at DC Film Society, that is Travis Hopson. And of course, I am just Tim Gordon. I ain't
Film Gordon, president of
whatever.
That is the best description yet.
Whatever. I'm just Tim. I'm just Tim. All right, so here we are. It's day 3 of the Middleburg Film Fest. We have an audience of people, believe it or not. You can't see them, but we can. Who are checking us out.
It's like 2 people.
It doesn't really matter. Audience is an audience, man. We out here in the middle of the day. And I want to just talk a little bit about what we've seen, man. I mean, first of all, let me get both your impressions, man, about year 5 of the festival, man.
I mean, I think we've been here since year 1. Obviously, I think year
Wait,
5.
Stop. You were here year 1?
Yeah.
We don't remember you.
I don't remember
You didn't know. Y'all thought I was like the scrub back then.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
You
came up.
Back then.
Start from the bottom, now we're here.
Right. You were here year 1?
These jerks.
Snap. Go ahead, man.
All right, so in year 5, I do think that there's a different kind of atmosphere this year. You know, like I think Middleburg, Sheila, and Susan have definitely set up the film festival.
You talking about Susan Koch and Sheila Johnson?
Yes. I'm sorry for those that might. Sheila Johnson and Susan Koch. Right. They've definitely set up something here that's special, and I think it's really starting to catch on.
Well, we talked about, we talked to Sheila earlier. You and I have been saying since year 1 the potential in this place. Mm-hmm. And I think we saw, at least by year 2, it had already become the best festival in Virginia and DC by far. And I think in year 5, we've seen them grow to the point where we expect them to be the best, and we expect them to have the best lineup of movies. And every year so far, they have achieved that goal. And this year is one of the best lineups they've had.
You know what kills me? We doing something real informal. Don't be trying to sound all deep, as I explained.
Dude, it's
really
that's true, though.
Come on, man. It is true, man.
I didn't know what I was supposed to say.
Wait a minute. But you know what's funny? I
put on my WETA voice. I'm sorry.
I got WETA voice too, man. But we interviewed Sheila, and remember we told her, it took like 2 years before you could become the best in this region, because we used to go to the Virginia Film Festival. Hey.
Don't worry about it.
It happens. So that's what I was saying, man. So let's talk a little bit about the films, though, now.
Let's talk about it.
So what have you seen, man, that's jumped out? That's really been good.
Jumped out. I seen I, Tonya. I thought that the tone of that film is awesome because they deal with some of the domestic.
I'm blown by the woman in the park.
That's why you gotta say hi. You gotta say hi. Like, acknowledge it.
This is live out here, so this is what we doing. Go ahead.
So I, Tonya, I love the tone of the film because we're dealing with a lot of the domestic violence that Tonya Harding faced, but it does it in such a way where it's brutal, but then at the same time, dudes, can I talk?
I apologize, man. I was trying not to have a walkthrough again, man.
But then at the same time, it has a humor aspect to it. But I think
I want to know where this is going to go now.
The best film that I've seen thus far is Mudbound with D. Reese. That's definitely like top notch. But I'm gonna let Travis go so that I can act like I'm looking at something.
This is what we call. We should have called this Film Critic Cipher. That's what it's been nice. All right, man. Next up on the mic is Travis.
I was listening to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Travis.
So he talked about I, Tonya and Mudbound.
Talked about I, Tonya, which
I'm
a big fan of I, Tonya as well. I love the tone of it. I like that it manages to balance, the dark and the humor of her life, because back in the 90s, Tonya Harding, that whole scandal with Nancy Kerrigan was a big deal, right up there with OJ. In terms of scandals, those are the 2 biggest in the 90s. And a lot of people, just kind of painted Tonya Harding as the villain. There's a lot more to her than that. And you can say she got a raw deal. You knew she got a raw deal in the 90s, but you didn't see the depth of it and how bad it was for her on a personal level and on a professional level. So the movie does a good job of showing all that. and finding the funny aspects that are part of her life too. She had a gang of losers around her,
Yeah.
and a bunch of bumbling idiots. And there's humor in that.
I wanted to say on that note, there's a scene in the film where Margot Robbie, who's playing Tanya, addresses, because they break the fourth wall a lot, and she addresses the audience directly, and she says, "And you were one of my attackers." And I felt like that part right there was very powerful. I don't know what you guys thought, but in terms of like direct address to the audience.
You got some editing to do.
Oh my God!
But
this is the funniest show ever. I love this pilot. This is great.
But no, this pilot. The Robbie thing. I think Robbie was terrific in the role. I wasn't sure how she was going to be able to do that. An Australian taking on this role that is kind of a white trash sort of role.
Right.
You don't really expect it, but she's fantastic here.
Yeah.
I love Sebastian Stan as Jeff Galooly, and the guy who played Sean Eckhart is hilarious, and of course Allison James is terrific.
Right.
But you also brought up another movie.
Mudbound,
which you and I both saw at Sundance.
Yeah, we love that movie.
You went to see it again. I haven't seen it since then, but I don't really need to. I still remember it very well.
But you want to hear something funny, man. I saw it. Of course, Dee Reese is here, right? So last night, she's a little under the weather, so she's sitting outside waiting. I left in the middle of the third act. I didn't want to see the third act again, right? So Dee Reese tells me, "Well, you're gonna have to, what was she? I forget what she said. You can't run from the truth." I said, "I'm not really running from the truth. I watched the truth in January. I don't want to see the truth tonight." So we pretty good. But Mudbound is a very powerful film, and it really affected me. I was really mad, if you remember, when I saw it at Sundance.
Yeah.
And not mad because it was a bad film, but it was just a plethora of these images about African American men that bothered me, and I was like, here we go again. That sometimes not only do we watch a lot of them, but then we're behind some of them as well. So I appreciated what she said last night, but there's a threshold, man. At least as a person of color, for movies that I have to watch, and I talk about that in my reviews a lot.
The one of the things that I liked about Mudbound, and kind of to your point, I guess, is that it showed that the prejudice. Yes, it's directed at us too, but there's also a socioeconomic prejudice as well.
Right.
That it stretches all bounds. And I think that's one of the best things that the movie shows, at least to me. And I think it's one of the things that will help separate it from the pack this year. Other similar movies that we see year in and year out.
Right.
That makes it a little bit different. I still have my concerns, about
Netflix,
about its awards,
about its distribution,
about its awards
platform,
potential.
Right.
Being released by Netflix, I don't see it happening. But we'll see.
But Netflix, you can sponsor this. I'm just saying we have problems, Netflix, with how you distribute film, but we will take your sponsorship
Netflix
dollars.
says you have problems with our distribution. We have problems with people running in front of the camera. so it's all even. It's all even.
We need a PA to lock off the sidewalk.
All right.
So hold up. But I want to go back to what you were saying, because with Mudbound, right? So I think about this through I got a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, right? And they're so
plugging your kids in.
No, it makes sense. They're so far, we're far away from civil rights and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
so to educate them, right? When I was coming up, my parents had us watching Eyes on the Prize, right, to kind of educate. So I think a film like Mudbound, because that third act was so real, is a film that you do have to produce every once in a while, because the younger generations, they're farther removed from it. So I personally, I don't like seeing it, but I think that the way that it was done, it wasn't done in a bad way, and in fact, it was done in such a way that I had a visceral, reaction to it. So I think here, with Mudbound, it was done in a good way.
Now let me bring up another thing, because you just said something that I think we've all seen Hostel, right?
Yeah.
All right. So there's really a good correlation between your last statement and Hostels. Hostels is another film where you're talking about race, but this time we're talking about 1890s, and we're talking specifically about Native Americans versus, I don't know what we call them, just basically white folk. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
But basically, you have a story of. There's a perception on one end by the character, this captain that Christian Bale plays, who has lost a lot of friends in these Indian wars, and he has a deep-seated hatred of all things that are Native Americans. And then at the same time, we hear stories about Native Americans who are really upset about how they've been abused in this relationship that takes place between Chief Yellow. Chief Yellowhawk and this captain. Talk a little bit about what you felt about Hostiles.
The thing it was interesting because we just kind of spoke to Scott Cooper a little while ago, and the thing I didn't tell him was that in my review of it, I criticized him for some parts.
Yeah, why you ain't tell him that, man? I always hate people, man, that talk smack about stuff.
Because there was no point in me bringing it up. I wanted to listen to him talk, and he wanted to talk about the movie. And he
Coward.
No, I'm not a coward. If I interview him, I'll bring it up, and he can read my review if he has a problem with it. But no, the thing is, the movie, he's trying. I see what he's trying to do, the movie's well intentioned, and I do like the movie. But he's trying to make this have it be this message about kind of the racial disharmony in the country right now.
About tolerance.
Yeah, but the problem that I have with the movie is that we really only see it from the white person's perspective.
Yeah, that is true.
We only see it from Christian Bale's perspective and the Rosamund Pike's character's perspective. We don't really get the perspective of the Native Americans who are there for the entire journey. And there's like and there's like 5 of them.
There's
like 5 of them.
I just on behalf of Scott Cooper, he basically said if you want to see that movie, that's another movie.
He wants you to go see I guess he would rather you go see like Wind River to get the Native American perspective.
It's so funny because I'm hoping that Scott Cooper can hear this and he's walking down.
He's right there behind me. He's like
you gotta come out of the bush.
He's standing there. Motherfucker.
This has got to be a show, man. This is
a movie like Wind River, which also deals with some of the same issues in a different way. You do get that perspective in the Gil Birmingham character. You get that in the beginning and the back end of the movie. And I think Hostiles really needed that. And that's still a very good movie, very entertaining movie. And I think Christian Bale is very good in a kind of reserved role for him. But I think it desperately needed that perspective. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so here we go. We got one more day left, man. Tonight is the big final night, and they've got 3 centerpiece movies that are going on simultaneously. It's Mudbound, Lady Bird, and The Darkest Hour. I know, Kevin, you're going to be at Lady Bird. Travis and I both saw it earlier this week. We're going to both be at The Darkest Hour.
Yep.
Let's talk final thoughts, man. What are you guys seeing? And we talked to Sheila about this, and she kind of gave us a little insight about some of the plans that are coming down the pike for the festival in the coming years, where they're going to have a new entertainment center here, and the ballroom, which now is just... Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Never mind.
These are her plans. I was talking about her plans.
Never mind. I'm apologizing.
Add that part out.
Let's just say there's some things coming that are going to vastly change this festival over the next several years, man. So where do you guys see this going since we've all been here?
I don't like it. I think what I really enjoyed, what I enjoyed about Middleburg.
I'm going to let them know that right when you're applying for press next year.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm going to show them this video. Man, he ain't like the festival.
Right.
No, he didn't say that.
No, I'm going to make it look like you said that, though.
Before it was like a unknown secret, right? You could come here, you could walk around.
You're from a selfish standpoint.
From a selfish standpoint,
now
it's going to grow.
I
was talking to Tim about this yesterday. Is the fact that like we come and we're like movie lovers. Like I want to be here to see these films. I know it's going to be awesome. And now I don't know. I feel like with
you're
the
saying
growth,
some of the intimacy is going to
exactly. Some of the magic is lost.
I'll agree with you on wanting it to stay small on a selfish level. But Tim and I have seen it grow immensely. Like there were only a handful of press here the first year, and now
including you, which we didn't even know you were here.
We didn't know you were here. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure you really were. I think you're just trying to say you were, just to feel cool. But you were here.
You were here, man. I didn't.
But I can agree.
Wait a minute, stop. Were you with Dean when you were here?
That's why we didn't see you. That's why we didn't see you. Y'all were invisible. But it's okay.
This has got to be a real show, man. This is great. Go ahead. Dean Rajay, Dean, man. Love you, Dean. You the man.
Shout out to the Rogers Review. As you were saying.
The what? Anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, I agree with you that
Did
on
you just say shout out to the road?
yeah, that part's getting edited out. On a selfish level,
Man,
I want it to stay small too. I don't want it to get like because
Right.
Sheila is following the Sundance model
Right.
for obvious reasons. It works. You and I go to Sundance every year.
Kevin, get back in here.
We know how it is. Come back over here. But we don't want it to get like Sundance, where you and I are crazed every time we need to go see a movie.
Yeah.
We don't want it to get like that here.
And
Hopefully it won't
honestly,
be
I don't
so.
think
That's
she
all
wants
I'm
it.
saying.
I don't think she wants it to get like that either. But I think my concern
It's
is
not totally in her control. That's the problem.
And you're absolutely right. And I think part of what I've seen this year, which I think is interesting, and I made a statement to her earlier, is there was a time we would come here, man, and I could literally sit in the lobby of the Salamander, man, and you kind of recognize all of the press people that were here. And this year, I'm starting to see people like, who's that? Who are you?
Right.
So these are all folks now that have come on as the festival has grown in popularity, and it's taken away the love and the quan from folks like us who are what we call the founding members of the press. We are the original press.
On the plus side, we are all happy to see this festival be as successful as it is because they're
that's true.
able to keep getting better and better movies each year. And that is the plus side of it being as popular as it is, and for it being already one of the best festivals in the country, is that they're going to keep getting better movies. So,
And not only that, I think the conversations with the people that come, you know, and we can be sitting in the lobby now and we can just have a conversation with Dee Reese or whatever the case may
Or
be.
Maggie Betts is
Right.
walking by, or Scott Cooper, who Travis stopped on the way to the bathroom today.
Right.
True story.
he wants that.
He was rocking back and forth, man. He was like, man, I'm trying to go to the bathroom, man, but what else you got?
All right, this has been great. I gotta go. I have a panel
right.
in 20 minutes. I have
So,
to get
so
to.
our first impromptu Critics Corner. It took us 5 years for us to finally accept Kevin as an equal,
And that
so that
is
we
the
could put him
truth.
into the
These
put him into
dudes.
this video. Because Travis and I, we do this all the time.
Tim
But-
speaking for himself as usual.
You thought Kevin was equal year one? See, he's laughing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
goodness.
on back, Kevin, you want to say you got final word?
Yeah, man. Thanks for letting me sit in, guys. Make sure you visit picturelockshow.com.
I knew he was gonna do that. I was waiting for
and
the.
DCPFF.org.
Plug his show.
I'm
What
out.
about you, man? What about can we get
No.
off the air first?
He'll just
Go
left.
ahead, man.
He's been walking out the whole time. See, this is why we don't want him, because he keeps walking out.
Travis, final words.
No, I gotta go. See you guys later.
All right, and on
See?
behalf of all my colleagues who walked away, I'm Tim Gordon, president of the Film Critic Association. These are our critics, and welcome to Critics Corner. We out.
All right.